So, I love Pokemon, and if you're watching this video, I'd guess you do too. But one thing I've only recently gotten into is competitive Pokemon. I just find it so interesting that some Pokemon can be godlike in one format, but awful in the actual game. But using an overpowered team in the actual game wouldn't be any fun. You know, I like the underdogs, the Pokemon that are quite literally underused. So in this video, I'm going to play through a Pokemon White 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke using only UU Pokemon, but specifically Generation 5 UU Pokemon. Looking at our encounters, we have a wide range of really cool Pokemon. Darmanitan gets sheer force as an ability, Cofagrigus and Umbreon are insanely defensive, and we get access to 3 different Pokemon with Intimidate. Unfortunately, there are a few restrictions just to make the game a little bit harder. I can only use Pokemon that are obtainable in White 2, so Pokemon like Nidoking and Blastoise won't be available to us. And also I won't be able to use any legendaries because they're just too powerful in a Nuzlocke. As well as that, all normal hardcore Nuzlocke rules apply. For a full list of these, check the description, but to put it quickly, if a Pokemon faints, it's dead. I can only catch the first valid Pokemon on each route. No items are allowed in battle, but held items like leftovers are fine. No overleveling the next gym leader, and always play on set mode. Is it possible to beat a game using these restrictions? Keep watching to find out. So to start off, I use the Universal Randomizer to replace Oshawott with Marlon. Now this is an amazing Pokemon because it can get the ability Huge Power, which doubles the attack stat of that Pokemon. This isn't too useful early game when our attack stat's only like 20 power, but at our final level cap of 58, Azumarill can have upwards of 117 attack. Meaning with Huge Power, Azumarill can have an attack stat of 234, which is 44 points higher than Mega Mewtwo X's base attack, which is the Pokemon with the highest non-modified attack stat in the game. We get challenged to fight our rival Hugh, and I go in hoping and praying for the right ability. Just by looking at the damage we do to his Snivy, you already know we got Huge Power. Or should I say, Hugh Power. We take his Snivy down in 2 hits, already showing how amazing this ability is. We then get told some boring things we already know, like how to heal, what a PC does, and how to catch Pokemon. But after that, I end up making it to Flowsessie Town. I'm picked up by the old champion Alder, and told to go deliver a map to our rival who just so happens to be at a ranch when somebody's Herdier goes missing. Strange. He tries to distract me with a battle, but I wipe the floor with him again. 1 Tail Whip and 3 tackles takes his Snivy down, but I'm onto you, Hugh. I find the missing Herdier in the hands of a Team Plasma Grunt, and he gives us the most useless TM, Frustration. With that all said and done, we can finally take on our first gym, after we fight some kid, and another kid, and talk to a man about medals, and get stopped again by Alder, and then fight another kid, and then another kid, until finally, gym time. Sharon starts off with a Patrat who isn't threatening at all, and in fact we take him out with a Defense Curl boosted rollout without taking any damage. Second is his Lillipup, but since we're locked into rollout and its power is boosted every turn, we take Lillipup down in 1 hit, earning the basic badge. After the gym battle, Bianca gives us the TM for return, which will come in handy later on since we've got friendship grinding to do. Now I make a massive mistake against this trainer, Hiker Jerome. His only Pokemon is a Riolu at level 11. Without thinking, I go for 2 Defense Curls and start using Tackle. No problem, right? Well, in Black and White 2, Riolu gets Counter at level 6. Now if you don't know, Counter is an attack that when you get hit by a physical move, you do double the damage you've received to the other Pokemon. Since Marlon has Huge Power and our physical move Tackle is the strongest move we have, doing about 30 to 40%, if we were to get the high roll of 40% and Riolu uses Counter, that'll do 80% of Marl's HP, which then puts us in range to die to a critical hit Quick Attack. Luckily we take him out in 3 hits with him only using Quick Attack. Now the best play here would have been to go for Bubble Beam because it's stab and has a higher power, meaning it'll do the exact same amount as Tackle regardless of Huge Power. So even though I won the fight, it's important to see what your options are and to know the movesets of the Pokemon you're fighting. Don't worry though, because there are a lot more stupid mistakes I make later on, where I actually suffer because of it. No! Dude! We make it to Verbank City for our next gym, but before we do anything, I go to Verbank Complex and pick up the second member of our team, Growlithe. The ability look keeps going because Growlithe has the ability Intimidate, which is regarded as one of, if not the best ability in the game. We catch it and name it Geek, and he makes quite a good pairing with Nerd our Maril. Hey, so remember like 3 seconds ago when I said stupid mistakes can make you suffer? Well, here's an example of that. One of Roxy's trainers has a team of Venipede and Coughing, and for some stupid reason I thought she only had Venipede. So I go for Defense Curl with Maril to power up Rollout, and she crits us with her own Rollout, leaving us with 2 HP. Luckily our own Rollout is strong enough to take her out, but she has Coughing in the back. And being locked into Rollout means I can't swap, and we're on 2 HP. Do you see where I'm going here? Coughing comes in, barely surviving the hit from Rollout, and takes Maril down for the first death of this run. Yes, it was a stupid mistake, and yes, it was absolutely avoidable. But hopefully next time I won't make the same stupid mistake again. And I mean, looking on the bright side, I'd much rather lose Maril than an Intimidate Arcanine, but it still hurts regardless. We go and fight Roxy to get revenge for Maril. She starts out with Coughing, and Intimidate lowers her attack from the start. Flame Wheel does just under half, and her Assurance does literally 5 health. 4 more Flame Wheels take out the Coughing after she uses a Super Potion, and we move on to her ace, Whirlipede. She starts with Protect, but that really doesn't matter because the next turn I hit Flame Wheel and it takes her to about a quarter of her health. We're unfortunately poisoned by Poison Point, but our held Pecha Berry cures us the same turn. After another useless Protect, we take Whirlipede down on the next turn with one final Flame Wheel as we earn the Toxic Badge. I love PokéStar Studios. There is nothing I love more than taking time out of my Nuzlocke to make the same film every run. PokéStar Studios is so fun. I never want to leave at all. You know what? Just go buy both Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 just so you can experience PokéStar Studios over and over and over again. It's just so amazing. So after I convince myself to leave the happiest place on earth, I make it to Castelia City, home of our next 2 encounters. A Zubat which I named Dorkly, and an Eevee I call Dweeb. I fight some Team Plasma Grunts and level the team up ready for Berg, and after a bit of grinding, Zubat evolves into Golbat. And I also pick up the leftovers in Castelia Sewers. I take on Berg and it's just an absolute beatdown. 1 wing attack from Dorkly takes his Swadloon down, 3 wing attacks take out his Dwebble. We did get hit with 2 super effective smackdowns, but the combination of Golbat being so bulky and him holding the leftovers means it just doesn't do that much. And finally is his Leavanny, which gets taken down in 1 wing attack, earning us the Insect Badge. I decided it's best to get the friendship grinding over with now so my team doesn't fall behind later. So after about 40 minutes of biking up and down, I level up Dorkly and evolve him into a Crobat, as well as Eevee at night time to get an Umbreon. So on the way to Route 4, I run into Colress and we have a battle. He starts out with a Magnemite, so I send out Growlithe. 1 Flame Wheel takes it down to 1 HP because of Sturdy, and he uses Thunder Wave, paralysing us. Colress uses a Super Potion, so another Flame Wheel brings him back down to 1 HP. He uses Spark, and 1 final hit is enough to take the Magnemite down. Next up he sends in Clink, and after 2 turns of paralysis we hit a Flame Wheel, almost taking it out in 1 hit. But the next turn we don't get fully paralysed, so 1 more Flame Wheel is enough to win the fight. I go back to heal and decide to get some encounters. On Route 4 all of the wild Pokemon are valid for this run, but I'm hoping for a Sandile. This is because it can have the ability Intimidate, meaning we'd have 2 Pokemon on our team with that ability. It could also get Moxie as an ability, but still that is just a great ability. This would also mean I can guarantee getting a Yamask in the Relic Castle, and Cofagrigus is really bulky in Gen 5. I decide to just go for it, and not only do I run into a Sandile, but it also has Intimidate. I add it to the team and give it the nickname Fool. I really can't wait for this to make it to the Elite Four. Honestly, it's just going to be so useful against Chantal and Caitlyn. No! Dude! I run around in the desert resort, and after I find a few more Sandiles, I encounter a Darumaka. Darmanitan is a really great Pokemon. It's strong, it has an amazing HP stat. The only problem with it is Darumaka has the ability Hustle. So if you didn't know, Hustle boosts the power of physical moves by 50%, but lowers their accuracy by 20%, making it one of the most annoying abilities in the game. He'll mainly be a bench warmer until he evolves, but when he does, he gets sheer force, making him practically unstoppable. Finally, I make it over to Relic Castle and catch a Yamask, and I name him Bozo. With my new team members, I level them up to the level cap, Sandile evolves, and I make my way to the 4th gym. Elisa starts off with an Emolga, and I start with Krokorok. Her quick attack does 9 health to us, and Crunch does just about 2/3. She uses another quick attack, and a second Crunch takes down her Emolga. Next up is Flaffy, but we outspeed and a crit dig takes it out. Finally is Zebstrika. It outspeeds us and goes for a powerful pursuit as we go for Dig. It misses the next attack since we're underground, and Dig connects for the knockout as we earn the Bolt badge. So after the gym we run into Team Plasma, but Krokorok one-shots the Trubbish and Umbreon takes out the Watchog. And to be honest, I had a harder time with the random triple battle on Route 5. And honestly, we are just rolling through these gyms because we're already going to fight Clay. Clay is probably the hardest fight so far, and looking at my team, half of them are either weak to Bulldoze or Rock Slide. And in addition to that, the others just can't do a lot of damage. But luckily, I have a plan. Clay starts out with a Krokorok, so I bring in Darumaka to take the Intimidate. He's either going to use Bulldoze or Torment, so that gives us a free swap to Crobat, who has a 75% chance to kill with Acrobatics. I bring in Crobat and he uses Torment, which could prolong the fight a bit if we don't kill, but luckily we do take Krokorok down in 1 Acrobatic. Second is Excadrill, and since Crobat out, he always goes for Rock Slide. Luckily Growlithe is a plus defense nature, so we can survive any hit, including a critical hit. I bring in Growlithe and lower Excadrill's attack with an Intimidate as he uses a Rock Slide like predicted. I then swap to Krokorok and lower its attack with another Intimidate and use Dig, doing about 70%. Excadrill eats a held Citrus Berry and the health it restored wasn't enough, so another Dig takes Excadrill out. Finally is Sandslash, and 1 Crunch from Krokorok and an Acrobatics from Crobat brings it into potion range. Clay heals and 2 more Acrobatics kill the Sandslash, earning us the Quake badge. So the first thing I do after the gym is evolve Yamask into Cofagrigus and Darumaka into Darmanitan. I then have to take on the Pokemon World Tournament, and even though your Pokemon are fully healed afterwards, if any of my team faints, it still counts as a death. Luckily Darmanitan sweeps through the whole tournament and we get through it without a single death. Keep in mind, I am going to be coming back here later on to earn battle points so I can buy some TMs, specifically Brick Break. I'm then taken to Team Plasma's airship, where we just destroy all of their poison and dark types with Krokorok. I head over to Route 6 and get given Surf by Cheron. None of my Pokemon can actually learn this move, so I decide to teach it to our dead Marill. Even though it's on the team, I can't use it in battle and it will just be used exclusively for Water HMs. We head to Chargestone Cave, and this is a great place for finding gemstones, specifically gemstones that boost the Pokemon's attack. There is a 50% chance you'll find one of 17 gemstones that will boost the corresponding type's power by 50%. Meaning if Darmanitan used Fire Punch, which has a base power of 75, whilst holding onto a Fire Gem, its power would be boosted to 112.5. The only downside is that they're only a one-time usable item, so if I want to be able to rely on them, I need to grind for them. I was expecting there to be an end fight at the end of the cave, but then I remembered that that was only in the original Black and White. Can you tell I haven't played these games since like 2015? In Mistralton City, I meet up with Professor Juniper and she gifts us the Master Ball, and we then meet Skylar, who tells us to come and challenge her at the gym. Since we have no electric, rock or ice types, we can't just sweep through the gym with super effective moves, but I'm just going to give it a go. Skylar starts with Swoobat and I go for Darmanitan. She uses Heart Stamp, which does little damage, probably because Swoobat is a special attacker and Heart Stamp's actually a physical move. We retaliate with a Sheer Force boosted Fire Punch, taking down her first Pokemon in one hit. She then sends in Swanna to do some super effective damage to Darmanitan, so I swap over to Cofagrigus. Bubble Beam does more than expected, but she then uses Feather Dance to lower our attack. This means Cofagrigus can use Curse to do 1/4 of damage each turn. After Curse, I swap Umbreon in to sponge a few hits. A single return takes her into Berry range, meaning she'll heal next turn after the Curse damage. I use Moonlight while she heals just so I can stall better, but a combination of Curse damage and return takes the Swanna out. But not before I swap into Darmanitan for her final Pokemon. Her final Pokemon is Skarmory, but we outspeed and a super effective Fire Punch brings it down to Sturdy, and one more knocks it out, earning us the Jet Badge. Since I thought this was Black and White 1, I went to Twist Mountain to try to get to the next gym, but I just got the lucky egg from Professor Juniper. After I figure out where I need to go, Skylar flies me to Lentamos Town, where I run into my next encounter, a Trapinch I call Boar. Reversal Mountain was just a few minutes of weird double battles with Bianca until I finally make it to Undella Bay. I run into Hugh completely not knowing there was a battle with him. Fortunately, I started off with Darmanitan, who just wipes the floor with his team. 2 hits take the Unpheasant down after a Hyper Potion, 1 Flare Blitz kills the Superior, and finally 2 Hammer Arms take out his Simisear. It's so weird that he only has 3 Pokemon this late in the game, but I guess it just makes things easier for me. I then head over to Lacanos Town, which took me like 5 attempts to say properly, and the only reason I'm here is to fight Team Plasma. Even though Zinzolin uses exclusively Ice types, Crobat is able to take down his Cryogonal. He sends in Sneasel, but I swap to Darmanitan to take care of it. Then the grunt he's with doesn't stand a chance against Darmanitan and Hugh's Unpheasant, meaning we can move along. On the next route I catch a Roselia I named Dumbass, mainly because I'm only really expecting to use him for the final gym, since grass types aren't going to be too useful against Team Plasma's poison types and Iris's dragons. Also, on the same route, Growlithe learns the moves Outrage and Flare Blitz, meaning he can finally stop being a bench warmer as I evolve him into Arcanine. Then there's some guy who claims to have a 1000 Pokemon battle win streak, which is really dumb, since he only has a Lucario and a Durant, which are both Pokemon our newly evolved Arcanine can one-shot with a Flame Wheel and Flare Blitz, respectively. Finally, on Route 11, I can get a new encounter, and it's the only valid encounter for this run, a Gligar. Since this run is only using UU Pokemon, I'm not too excited to use this because I can't evolve it, but it's really only going to be added to the team if he absolutely needs to be there. With that capture, I make it to Opelucid City, home of the 7th gym. Before I go in, I catch a Pawniard. I also use Thief on a Crobat to steal a Person Berry off a Duosian. My strategy for Drayden is really simple. I use an Extreme Speed on his Druddigon, bringing him into range of a kill, and then I just use Outrage. He brings in his Flygon, but we outspeed and an Outrage takes him out in one hit. And finally, Outrage takes out his Haxorus. I gave Arcanine the Person Berry just in case we were confused mid-fight, but luckily that didn't happen, so we earn ourselves the Legend Badge. After the gym, Team Plasma decide to shoot out a literal death beam onto the city. They pay us a visit to say like, look how cool our stupid laser is, but we send them away with no trouble. But I guess they're not really that important because Charon and Hugh tell us to go take on the next gym. I head over through the coolest underwater tunnel and make it to Humalao City. So, remember this clip? No! Dude! Well, that came from this moment. I grind up for the gym and fight Black Belt Kenneth and his stupid, dumb Crustle. So Crustle has the lovely move Shell Smash, which lowers both defenses of the Pokemon by 1 stage to raise its attack and speed by 2. I, being the dumb idiot that I am, thought it would be a great idea to use Umbreon to lower its accuracy with Sand Attack. Because, yeah, you know, Umbreon's a bulky Pokemon, right? Surely it can handle a Pokemon at +4 attack and speed, who also is a bug type, and also happens to have X-Scissor, which is a bug type move. So yeah, Sand Attack does nothing because Crustle outspeeds us and lands an X-Scissor, one-shotting Umbreon. Oh no! Wait. Here we go. Dude. Oh. So here's the moment you've all been waiting for. I bring in Crocodile to lower its attack with Intimidate. I will admit Sand Attack does help a bit because it misses an X-Scissor, meaning we can hit a Bulldoze, lowering its speed, but the next turn we aren't so lucky. Another X-Scissor takes out Crocodile. No! Dude! Do you want to know the best part? If we look at Crocodile's moves, we have Crunch, Bulldoze, Mud Slap, and Foul Play. Foul Play uses the opponent's attack to do damage instead of your own Pokemon. Since Crystal is at +3 attack and -4 defense because of Shell Smash, Foul Play would do at minimum 223%. Even if Crocodile had 0 attack EVs and IVs, plus a minus attack nature, and on top of that, if Crystal had max EVs and IVs for defense, we would still do 167% of its health. Meaning, I'm an idiot and lost 2 Pokemon for nothing. Oh wait, sorry. Did I say 2 Pokemon? Yeah. Darmanitan got one shot by Rock Slide. Oh my god. By the way, Rock Slide only has a 90% chance to hit, and I used Sand Attack twice to lower its accuracy by 2 times. So I'm going to blame the game on a mistake that was clearly my fault, because all of this would have been over if I'd actually used Foul Play instead of Bulldoze, but it's easy to blame the game instead of me. And as if this can't get any worse, I lost Darmanitan for absolutely no reason because Arcanine outspeeds Crustle and takes it down with 1 Flame Wheel. Don't crit and Flame Wheel, I outspeed. Why? Because it isn't at +3, it's at +2. Oh my. I hate myself. I actually hate myself so much. So, looking back, what can we learn from this? Nothing. It's stupid. It's dumb. I hate Crystal. I never want to see it again. I'm never going to use Crystal. If anyone shows me a picture of Crystal, I will lose my mind. But seriously, it did show me that once you lose a Pokemon in a Nuzlocke, you can snowball into losing your whole team if you're not careful. So what does this mean? Well, I need a whole new team. I add Dumbass the Roselia, Bore the Trapinch, and Stinker the Pawnyard. This also means I have to grind more. Yay. After Roselia learns Synthesis, I evolve her into a Roserade. Trapinch evolves into Vibrava and then Flygon. And Pawnyard doesn't evolve because of the level cap, but he will very soon. Speaking of level cap, I take on the final gym Marlon and his water types. His Caracosta gets brought down to 1 HP because of Sturdy, and then heals, but a second Energy Ball brings him back down to 1 HP. We then outspeed him and take him out with a 3rd hit. Second up is Wailord, but a single Energy Ball does the trick. And finally is Jellicent, but 2 more Energy Balls take him out after he heals with a berry, and we earn our final gym badge, the Wave Badge. So I find Team Plasma's airship for about the 50th time, and turns out Colress has been working with Team Plasma for the entire game. Yeah, who would have thought that? He mainly uses Steel type, so I think we'll do alright in a fight against him, but we'll just have to see. He starts out with Magneton, so I go for Arcanine. I swap to Flygon so we don't get paralysed as he uses Thunder Wave. I then use a Ground Gem boosted Bulldoze, taking it down to Sturdy and lowering its speed. Colress heals, but 2 more Bulldozes take down his Magneton. Second is Magnezone, so I bring in Bisharp. A Flash Cannon does about 40 HP to us, but we only do around the same amount since we only have Night Slash for damage. We get paralysed, meaning we have to swap out, but not before we're almost taken down by a Discharge. I swap to Flygon to absorb 1 Discharge and retaliate with a Bulldoze to take down his second Pokemon. Third is his strongest Pokemon, Klinklang, but 1 hit will definitely take out Flygon, so I switch to Arcanine. All it takes is a Fire Gem boosted Flame Wheel and 1 Extreme Speed to KO Klinklang since it only went for Shift Gear. He sends in a Metang, but we easily knock it out with 1 super effective Flare Blitz, and he sends in his only non-Steel type, Behem. I was a bit scared for this Pokemon, but a Flame Wheel and an Extreme Speed are more than enough to beat his last Pokemon, as we beat Colress with 0 deaths. Ghetsis was a different story though. He starts off with a Cofagrigus, so I used Bisharp. Since we're 6 levels higher, we should be able to one-shot Cofagrigus, right? Well, apparently not, because he's left with 1 HP. It's annoying, but it doesn't really matter because it only has Shadow Ball and that hardly does any damage to Bisharp. Since he's at 1 HP, Ghetsis heals, meaning he wastes a potion because 1 more Night Slash takes Cofagrigus down. Second up is his Seismitoad, and since Bisharp is out, he's going to use Earthquake. To deal with this, I swapped to Dumbass to take the hit and retaliate with a 4-time super effective Energy Ball, KOing Seismitoad. Next out is his Electros. He always goes for an Acrobatic since it will do more damage than Flamethrower, so I swapped to Flygon. I use Rock Slide, but it does almost nothing, meaning after getting hit twice, I have to swap out. I decide my best bet is to lower its attack with Arcanine, but first I go to Bisharp to bait the Flamethrower so Arcanine will take less damage. The plan works, so I lower its attack and almost take it out with a Flame Wheel. It does land a Thunderbolt, but I had Geek hold a Citrus Berry, so he's fine now. Finally, 1 more Flame Wheel takes out Electros. Fourth is his Drapion, and since Geek is out, it's going to use an Earthquake so I can swap to Crobat. But apparently he saw a kill with Night Slash, so he went for that instead, doing a bit of damage to Crobat. I can see that Acrobatics is a 2-shot, so I just go for it, hoping we can survive another Night Slash. We hit it doing about half of its health, but then a crit Night Slash takes Crobat down for the first death in a while. And a crit kills us! You've got to be kidding me. The only thing I can do to guarantee the kill is to go out to Arcanine and use Flare Blitz, taking him down with only 99 health left. Then Ghetsis brings out his Hydreigon, and since it has Rock Slide, it can take Arcanine out. The best thing about this Hydreigon is that when I was fighting it, the website I used said it didn't have an item, so I was confident that a crit Rock Slide wouldn't kill. Turns out it's actually holding a Life Orb, meaning I hit it with an Outrage and that doesn't kill, and it takes us both out with the recoil from Life Orb. Awesome. Sorry, crit, not even a crit. It's... I forgot about Life Orb damage. Oh, but let me tell you, the fun isn't over yet because his final Pokemon is a Toxicroak, which nothing can kill. Let's pause here and think about this. I have 3 Pokemon left. A Roserade who gets outspeed and killed with 2 Poison Jabs, a Bisharp who gets outsped and one-shot with Brick Break, or Flygon who does outspeed but never kills him and is also one-shot by any of his moves. So what do? Do I just wipe here? Well, I must be either really lucky or really smart because I didn't replace Bulldoze on Flygon. So what this means is I can swap to Flygon and almost kill with Bulldoze. And since it lowers the opponent's speed, I can then swap to Roserade and kill it with an Energy Ball. Luckily, Bulldoze does take Toxicroak into range where Roserade can kill it, but it does mean that I've lost 3 Pokemon during this fight. Rest in peace to Arcanine and Crobat, you will be missed. Oh yeah, and Flygon, I guess. After the Ghetsis fight, I check to see what encounters I can get, and I catch a Mienfoo and a Sneasel in the Giant Chasm. Catching them fills my team out to 6 members, so I need to make sure I don't lose any Pokemon or I'll go into the Elite Four without a full team. So basically the team I'm going into the Elite Four with is Bisharp, Roserade, Cofagrigus, Weavile when Sneasel evolves, Mienshao when Mienfoo evolves, and a Gligar that isn't allowed to evolve. I grind up the weaker members to around level 50, which means Mienfoo and Sneasel both evolve, meaning our team is ready to take on Victory Road. The only thing noteworthy about Victory Road is the really cool badge gate, but apart from that, all the trainers were easy. And with that all said and done, we finally make it to the Pokemon League. There are a few last minute preparations I need to do, like pick up Brick Break from the Pokemon World Tournament, and also get some more type boosting gemstones. I obviously level up to the level cap, but with no preparations left to do, I take my first steps into the Pokemon League. So first off, I fight Caitlyn because she's going to be the easiest by far. The plan is to go for Swords Dance with Bisharp, then use Night Slash to sweep the whole team. The only problems we could encounter here is her Musharna going for Reflect, but if that happens I need to use 1 more Swords Dance, or she could yawn us, and to deal with this we also use Swords Dance until we wake up. So in the fight we use Swords Dance and Musharna goes for a yawn. This just means we have to use Swords Dance again and wait until we wake up. On our first turn of sleep she uses Reflect, but since we use Swords Dance twice we can guarantee the kill on her whole team. We wake up on our second turn and use Night Slash, taking her Musharna down in one hit. Bishop levels up as she sends in Reuniqueless, and since we're at +4 attack, Night Slash takes it out in one hit too. Third up is her ace Gothitelle, but you guessed it, we outspeed and O-code it, meaning she only has Sigilyph left. Sigilyph is the only Pokemon we don't outspeed, but it does a tiny amount of damage with Air Slash, and one more Night Slash guarantees us the win against our first Elite Four member. So the next member I challenge is Marshall. My strategy for this is a bit more complicated, but I think it should work. The plan is to use Gligar, who's holding an Eevee, and set up 2 Sword Stance and also a Rock Polish. With that, I should be able to one-hit KO everything but Conkeldurr, so for that, I'm just going to use a 3rd Sword Stance on Mienshao. Marshall starts out with a throw, and I use Gligar. I go for Sword Stance, and he uses Rock Tomb, meaning our speed gets lowered. I completely forgot that Rock Tomb can do this, but it just means I'll have to set up a 2nd Rock Polish. I use a 2nd Sword Stance, and Throw uses Payback, doing a small amount of damage. He then outspeeds and uses another Payback as I set up Rock Polish. Since I'm at +1 speed, I should outspeed his Sork, so I just use Aerial Ace and take the Throw out. Instead of bringing in Sork like I thought he would, he actually brings in his Conkeldurr. The problem here is that Aerial Ace never kills, and a critical hit Stone Edge will take out Gligar. We also have nothing that can take this out, so we have to risk a crit on Gligar. I use Aerial Ace and don't get the kill like predicted as he uses Stone Edge. But someone must be looking down on me because Conkeldurr got the lowest roll possible and still crits, meaning Gligar lives on 18 HP. We use one more Aerial Ace, taking his ace Pokemon out, but at this point my heart is beating so fast out of my chest. Next out is Mienshao, which is the perfect Pokemon to heal up on. I use Rest on Gligar, getting us back to full health as he uses Bounce. We're asleep for 2 turns, so he lands the Bounce and hits us with a high jump kick, doing less than half our health. But we wake up the next turn and take it out with an Aerial Ace. Finally is Marshall's Sork, but there is really no issue here. We outspeed and take it down to Sturdy as he uses a Rock Slide. He heals next turn, but we just use Aerial Ace again, taking him back down to 1 HP. Finally, we outspeed and a single Aerial Ace takes Sork down, meaning we soloed an Elite Four member with just a Gligar. The third member we take on is Grimsley, and this is just going to be a standard Sword Stance sweep. I start with Bishop and he uses Lipard. I go for Sword Stance and he uses Aerial Ace, doing 1 HP after Leftovers recovery, and the exact same thing happens on the next turn. On the third turn he uses Aerial Ace and I one-shot him with a +4 super effective Brick Break, and he brings in Scrafty. Since we outspeed, another Brick Break takes Scrafty down and he now sends out Crocodile. This is where it gets a bit difficult because we don't outspeed, so I have to swap to Roserade to use Energy Ball. Apparently I didn't do my calculations properly because we get hit by an Earthquake and survive, but then he uses Dragon Claw, outspeeding us, taking Roserade out for the first death of the Elite Four. I see that my best bet is to use Stupid Man the Mienshao, and since we're faster, he one-shots Crocodile with a Drain Punch. Looking back at this, my best play was probably to swap out to Gligar on Earthquake and then swap to Mienshao and use Drain Punch to heal. Grimsley sends out his final Pokemon Bishop, but we take him down with a 4-time super effective Drain Punch. We only have one Elite Four member left, Chantal. Luckily, the only member of our team I'm scared of is Chandelure, and I can easily sweep through most of her team with Bishop. So let's see how it goes. She starts out with a Cofagrigus and I go for Bishop. I use Sword Stance and she uses Shadow Ball, hardly doing any damage. Next turn I go for Night Slash, taking out Cofagrigus in 1 hit. Second is Golurk, but we outspeed and use Night Slash, bringing him down. Third is Chandelure, so for this we have to swap to our own Cofagrigus since Fire Blast kills Bishop. She misses the Fire Blast, which is fine because we wouldn't have died even if we got crit, so we can swap to Weavile and take the incoming Shadow Ball. Weavile takes it like a champ and retaliates with a Dark Gem boosted Night Slash for a 1-hit KO. Finally is Drifblim, so we swap back to Bishop to go for Night Slash but get paralysed by Thunderbolt on our switch in. I use Night Slash, taking it out in 1 hit, but Aftermath brings us down to 7 HP, almost killing Bishop right before the final fight of the game. And with that, we did it. We beat all 4 Elite Four members, and there's only one more fight in the game, and it's against our hardest opponent yet, Champion Iris. Basically, our strategy with this is survive a Flamethrower from the Hydreigon and sweep with Weavile. If you look at the bottom screen, you can see that I was doing this at almost 2 in the morning. So do you think I can beat the hardest fight in the game with only 5 Pokemon while sleep deprived? Let's find out. We have a 1 in 16 chance to lose the run, as Weavile is the only Pokemon that can reliably outspeed and kill most of her team. So if she crits here, it's over. Let's just run the clip. Hold. 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 Just hold. Come on, 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 hold, 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 hold. Yes! Weavile holds, Ice Punch kills. Yes! Come on. This kills. 100% this kills. Nice. As you can see, Weavile holds on and doesn't get crit, meaning the next turn, Ice Punch can kill the Hydreigon. Second out is her Druddigon, but it doesn't have the ability Rough Skin, so we can take it out with another Ice Punch. Third out is Haxorus, and this is probably the worst Pokemon to send out right now because it has Focus Sash and the move Dragon Dance. I risk it and Ice Punch brings it down to the Focus Sash, but Weavile is the luckiest Pokemon in existence because Haxorus misses a 90% accurate Dual Chop, meaning after Iris's full restore, one more Ice Punch kills her strongest Pokemon. Next out is Archeops, but Weavile is just a monster and kills it with an Ice Punch. And this is the point of the fight where Weavile isn't useful anymore since she has Aggron and Lapras left. To get a clean switch in, I use Ice Punch on Aggron and let Weavile go down, but oh my god, did Weenie Baby put in the most work. MVP of this champion fight. So I swapped to Stupid Man to kill Aggron with a Fighting Gem boosted Drain Punch. And Outlast is her Lapras. This is one of my favourite Pokemon, but to win we have to kill it. So I'm just going to play the clip. We just go for 2 Drain Punches. We've won. We just won. Using only UU Pokemon. Preparation. Worth it. So as you can see, I beat Pokemon White 2 with only UU Pokemon. It was an amazing journey through the game and I'm so glad I did it. I hope you can tell that I've been improving my Nuzlocke skills a whole lot and it's pretty clear I've come a long way. I have plans to do more future content, but if you have any ideas you want me to do, feel free to leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to give it a look. But with that all said and done, that's it from me and I'll see you in the next video. If you're still watching this bit, this can be like a tiny little secret that only me and like 3 other people will know. But I just want to thank everyone for the massive amount of support I've been getting recently. I don't even have 100 subs yet, but my first video has like 2,000 views, which is crazy. Because like I sometimes go back and look at that video and I cringe because of how monotone I am and how like bad my quality of editing and recording was. But like the fact that people actually enjoy my videos is insane to me. But I mean, you know, if you're enjoying them, just stick around because I'm not going anywhere. I really want to make more videos. I've been really inspired recently, so I'm definitely going to be making more content. But yeah, for real this time, if you enjoyed, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, it all helps out. But for real this time, I will see you in the next video.